Hello again, everybody. My name is Mark Jenkins, the director here at Cedar Springs Camp and Retreat. And for my ministry update today, I want to tell you about a special meeting we're having with the camp board tomorrow morning. You see, as the governors of Iowa and Minnesota give us direction and continue to do so, we will keep meeting over the next couple of weeks to discover where God's will is for our summer ministry. You see, as long as social distancing protocols and restrictions on public gatherings are in place, our summer season is in doubt. You need to know that. But rest assured, we are working to position ourselves to come out on the other side of this pandemic in a strong position to continue serving the Lord. So please be praying for us today and tonight especially as we are making tough decisions about our summer season. You know, we were watching the movie called Moses starring Ben Kingsley the other night for Easter. It was made in the 1990s and I highly recommend it. It reminded me that the Bible has some great lessons for us if we would just read and learn. And as I read, I am reminded that God uses trouble to get our attention. Now, I'm not one of those people who say that COVID-19 is a sign of the end times and oh my gosh, we got to get ready. But I do know that God uses war, drought, famine, and pestilence to get our attention. One major crisis after another recorded in Scripture is attributed to the control of God. He caused the flood on the world in the days of Noah, the famine in the days of Joseph, the pestilence that afflicted Israel in the days of David, and that great wind and mighty tempest in the life of Jonah. And God tells Solomon that when my people rebel against me, I will send all of these calamities upon them. And it works too. What do people do when they get in trouble? Don't they cry out to God? Yes, I know, sometimes in anger, but many times seeking his face and wondering why, asking questions. You know, C.S. Lewis wrote that pain is God's megaphone to get our attention. I believe that God sometimes brings trouble into our lives to get our attention. I believe he wants our attention right now. Look at us today. Americans are obsessed with themselves. We are obsessed with wealth, pop culture, and leisure activities. You know, George Barna tracks religion and culture. He's been doing it for over a generation. His statistics show a steady decline in those calling themselves Christians and church attendance. Listen, when what Tom Brady or your favorite pop star is doing becomes more important to us than what God is doing, something is wrong. Isn't it interesting? Because of this pandemic, we cannot do many of the things that have consumed our lives. Perhaps we are learning through all of this that we can live without the NFL, going out to eat every other night, or that bigger house. After being so accustomed to thinking that we are in control, perhaps we are beginning to realize that we really are nothing and that God is the one who is in control. Isn't it time for us to reevaluate our priorities? I want to encourage you to read James chapter 4, maybe tonight, huh? He says, you adulterous people, don't you know that friendship with the world is hatred towards God? God is trying to get our attention. The question before us, will we stop and listen to him, or will we continue to do what is right in our own eyes? And finally, I want to leave you with the words of the Apostle Peter. He says, humble yourself, therefore, under God's mighty right hand, that he may lift you up in due time. Cast all of your anxiety on him because he cares for you. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. I hope that this message finds you safe and seeking God's guidance. And I pray that we'll be together soon. Thank you for being here.